good evening, football fans. It was a beautiful afternoon for the 1996 Old Shoe game at Moyer Stadium in Canton, Pennsylvania.
Stu, thank you very much. We're here this afternoon, as you said, on a beautiful, beautiful day for this Old Shoe game. And when you think back, today is the 42nd annual, but you think back 42 years ago, somebody had to have a vision. Somebody had to think about doing this type of thing. And so when I did a little research and asking what was going on with the Old Shoe, I found that Bob Bowman and Jack Bobkowski, Bob Bowman from Canton and Jack Bobkowski from Troy, really had the gem of the idea, and the Lions clubs of both communities picked up on that gem of an idea and took it and brought it into a vision and reality back in 1955. And here we are in 1996, and this is the 42nd Old Shoe game, and it has become quite a county-wide participation. It's in the papers. People look forward to it. We usually get a very, very large crowd for this, either in Troy or Canton. And right now, Canton leads this Old Shoe series 22 to 16. There have been 3 ties. I think they've been scoreless ties. But at this point in time, both sides of the ball, I know, have been very anxious about this game because this is the season for them.
Well, the great thing about this Old Shoe game and the vision, as you mentioned earlier, is that when you have a season that's checkered like these two teams have had this year, it's something added to play for. It's not just another game. And I don't know if it ever was just another game, but since the institution of the Old Shoe as a trophy, I'm sure it is more than just another game. And I'd like to comment on something else regarding the checkered season. You know, the years that these boys have a great season, you know, it's a great thing, and the stands are packed. But, you know, the years that are a little leaner and the record isn't quite as good, these young fellas out here work just as hard as the guys that had a great season.
Well, I can tell you a little story about that. Many, many years ago, back in '83, I happened to have the good fortune of being in Texas. And a former Canton resident who works for Texas Instruments took me into the plant for a tour. And in the plant, we walked by a gentleman who was working there, and he tapped him on the shoulder, and he said to him, "Hey," he said, "I've got a fellow here from Canton, Pennsylvania who'd like to meet you." And he turned around, and he looked at me, and he said, "I'm from Troy originally." He says, "All I want to know is one thing. Who has the shoe?
The Old Shoe?
Who has the shoe right now?" So it is not just a county thing. When you leave here, you take this particular game with you, whether you played in it or not.
Yep.
Whether you're a cheerleader, whether you're playing in the band, or whether you're a participant or spirit for your school, you take this type of game with you. And these young men are embarking on that type of journey today.
And traditionally in the past, this has been the final game of the season. Not so this year.
No.
And I don't know what effect that will have on the game, if any.
Well, I don't think it will have much of an effect because these two teams, and in talking to the coaches earlier and the boys, one coach said, "I haven't eaten for 2 days." So I think it still has that same importance in their hearts and in their minds.
Well, thanks, Bill. Stu Wilson and Bill Krause coming your way via TV Cable Channel 10. Tonight's cablecast of the Old Shoe Classic is being brought to you through the cooperation of these fine Canton and Troy sponsors: by Landon Tire, Hercules Tires for all vehicles, Pennsylvania inspection and repairs; by the Canton Pharmacy, complete prescription service, cough and cold remedies; by Crisis Tire and Auto Center, your complete car care center, great deals; by Stahl's Flowers, 2 stores, Canton and Troy, say it with flowers; by Landon Cedar Ledge, open when you need it, apples, cold cider, hunting supplies; by the Canton Body Shop, let Jim Brenchley knock it back in shape; by Apes Distributing, great deals on soda and all popular beverages; by Moore's Automotive, Jesse and Darren will get the family car running again; by Cook's Pharmacy, don't let the flu season get you down, prescriptions and more; by Ted Bound fundraisers for schools, sports, churches, the professional touch; by Schoonover Plumbing and Heating, Lennox Heating Systems, emergency service; by Nationwide Insurance, life, health, home, or farm, Nationwide is on your side; by Citizens and Northern Bank, still strong, still local, a full-service bank; by McClure Motors, see the Ford boys for the best deals. Be sure, buy McClure. By Canton Building Supply, lumber, paint, roofing, wallpaper, and free estimates. By Slocum's Meat and Deli, fresh cuts, salads, lunches, the newest and best in town. By Pepper Funeral Home, locally owned and Canton proud. By Morrison Seeger Furnitures, sofas, love seats, recliners, store-wide clearance. By Core States Bank, everything we do for you, downtown Troy. By Baldwin Hardware, your Service Star dealer, fully stocked, friendly people. By the Canton Independent Sentinel, your hometown newspaper, all the local news. By Troy Dry Cleaner, free home pickup and delivery, cleaning of all fabrics. By Christie's Food and Friends, pizzas, burgers, and shakes, the best fast food. By Miller Chevy Jeep Eagle, transportation with a plus, service after the sale. And by the First National Bank of Canton, you're always first at FNB. Please remember to patronize our fine sponsors and tell them you saw their ad here on TV 10. Well, Bill, let's talk a little bit about the game. What are some of the things we can look for? And
Well, at this point in time, everything we can talk about as far as the records go and how they've played in the past. But when you look down the line and you talk to the coaches, say, what do you have to do to win a game, and what do you have to do to stop the opponent? Well, as far as Troy is concerned, right up front, they say we have to control the line of scrimmage. That's where the game is won or the game is lost. And we have to run the ball. And they are primarily a running team, as the stats bear out. What do they have to do to Canton to stop what Canton does? Well, they have to put the pressure on Brock Kitchen, the quarterback. They feel that if he's allowed to throw and has time to throw, he'll pick them apart. And he also said he has to stop the power game. Of course, that power game is Curtis Smith. He's been the workhorse in the backfield for the past few weeks, and they need to stop that running game. On the side for Canton, when you ask the same questions, you wind up with, Miller and the coaching staff say we have to run the ball. I mean, that's just something we have to do. So I'm thinking, well, they're telling me we have to run the ball to set up the pass. And he said, we have to be physical. We have to be Canton physical. And he talks about that quite a bit. There's a certain amount of pride there that it's a good, clean ball game, but we have to be physical. And he said, first thing off the top of the charts is Calago. That's who they have to stop. So they're saying stop Smith on one side, stop Calago on the other. I don't think that, if you read the papers or if you've watched any Canton and Troy football, is any surprise. That's what they have to do. And the ones that's most successful, of course, I think will come up winning this game. And I think it's a fairly even game at this point. The records are just, you said, a little bit checkered, but they've played good ball. They've been in a lot of different games. I know Canton in the Wellsboro game, 7-0. They had a chance, 4th down, to win that game. Just came up a little bit short. So, with that said, that's basically what the coaches feel they need to do in order to be successful.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after these messages.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Canton Area School District is proud to present the 1996-97 edition of the Canton Marching Warrior Band. Under the leadership of senior drum majors Katie Granica and Dan Preston, this 50-piece all-volunteer marching band is ready to take you on a magical mystery tour with the music of the Beatles. The show starts off with Hey Jude and Lady Madonna, featuring sophomore trombone soloist Miss Cassie Cole. The band follows with Please Please Me, I Saw Her Standing There, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and closes with Imagine from the late John Lennon. The band front is under the direction of Miss Dawn Clark. Assisting with percussion is Miss Tracy Woodward. The Marching Warriors are under the direction of band director Mr. Daniel Boone. Ladies and gentlemen, the Canton Marching Warrior Band. and gentlemen, the Canton Marching Warrior Band. And we'd like to take a moment to wish two members of the band a happy birthday, Matt Davenport and Jessica Drasher. At this time, we would like all parents of senior football players, cheerleaders, and band members to please meet at the scoreboard end of the field behind the end zone. Second annual Old Shoe Game between Troy Trojans and the Canton Warriors. This afternoon, we'd like to take a few moments to honor our senior football players, cheerleaders, and band members and their parents. And now honoring our seniors and their parents. Mr. Kurt Smith, son of Steve and Henry Ann Smith. Mr. Rob Wright, the son of Gary and Deb Wright. Mr. Darren Pisco, the son of Paul and Sam Pisco. Mr. Brian Huffman, the son of Dale and Deborah Huffman. Miss Heidi Smith, the daughter of Kindy Grader. Miss Katie Branica, the daughter of Wesley and Lucinda Branica. Mr. Nick Morgan, the son of Brad and Marla Morgan. Miss Danielle Nelson, the daughter of Ronnie and Karen Nelson. Mr. Dan Preston, the son of David and Janet Preston. Miss April Rockwell, the daughter of Phil and Joanne Rockwell. and Miss Wendy Ward, the daughter of John and Elizabeth Ward. We would like to thank these young ladies and gentlemen and their parents for all their dedication to Canton High School. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you for this 42nd annual Old Shoe Game between the Troy Trojans and the Canton Warriors. And we would ask that at this time you please rise for the playing of our national anthem and remain standing for the Canton High School alma mater.
Well, we're back after that nice pregame show featuring the parents of the students and the national anthem. Stuart Wilson along with Bill Krause from Miller Memorial Field in Canton, Pennsylvania. Bill, you have the starting lineups for the 1996 Old Shoe Game.
Sure do, and they're introducing the Warriors at this time. Troy will be coming in second the way it looks, and for the starting lineups we'll give you the Trojans first at tight end number 99, Justin Smith. Right tackle 72, Matt Gorman. Alex Gardner, number 66 at right guard. At center 61, and Nick Randall. 55 at left guard, J.R. Fleming. Chris Wood, 75 at left tackle, and 21 at split end, Brett Kavanaugh. In the backfield, the quarterback, number 12, Larry Geisler. And the running back positions, number 44, Tim Kelly. Number 22, Jeremy Colago. And a flanker, they call him that. He's still in the backfield, number 30, Brent Parks. The head coach is Steve Bryan, and there's some familiar Canton names on this coaching staff. And here they are, Bill Skipper and Mike Davison, along with Tony Confer and Jason Shalala. Punting and kicking off for the Trojans will be Larry Geisler throughout the game. For the starting lineups, offensively for the Canton Warriors, At tight end, we'll be splitting the duties. Number 82, Gordy Wisniewski, and number 80, Tyler Seacrest. A right tackle, number 67, Travis Pepper. And number 56 at right guard, Doug Steiner. 62 at center, Chad Neal. 51 at left guard, Brian Huffman. And at left tackle, number 74, Mike Greenberg. Split end again, they'll be sharing duties at this spot. Number 11 will be Rob Wright, and number 10, Brennan McClure. The quarterback, number 13, Brock Kitchen, and in his backfield will be number 12, Jared Morris, number 40, Guy Kapachak, and number 31, Curtis Smith. The coaches, the head coach, 45 years in the business of coaching, and 36 at Canton is Miller A. Moyer. And his assistants are Miller H. Moyer, Lyle Wisniewski, Craig Rout, John Bowman, and Lance Albertson. Punting and doing the punting chores will be Guy Kapachak, and kicking off for the Warriors, Joe Sharrow. That's it. Offensively, we'll be, of course, keying the defense, and that's where I think this game's gonna turn, on the defense.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. The captains are meeting in the center of the field with the officials for the flip of the coin, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff right after these messages. Well, that's the ultimate tailgate party. I guess a Troy boy made good, or somebody did over there on the far side of the field, a beautiful private bus. The Troy Trojans, the Canton Warriors, I believe, won the toss. Am I right?
Correct.
And they deferred
to
the second half, and they will kick off as Troy chose to receive here in the opening of this 1996 Fall Classic, the Old Shoe Game from Moyer Field in Canton, Pennsylvania. Stu Wilson along with Bill Krause bringing you all the action. Ball is being teed up there by the Canton Warriors.
That's number 81, Guy Kapachak.
No, that's Joe Sharrow.
Joe Sharrow, excuse me.
And number 21.
Kick is going to go out of bounds on about the 7-yard line as Brett Kavanaugh watched it bounce across the line, and of course that's a penalty, I believe. And the Trojans will take the ball 1st and 10, operating from
about the
35-yard line.
Let's see, they're giving the procedure call right now, yes. By the way, the referees today are Dick Chilson, Denny Thomas, Jim Shaw, Craig West, and Rich Dawes, a very veteran crew.
Referee marks the ball in play. The Troy Trojans break the huddle. Kyle Smith, the quarterback, sends 2 receivers wide to the right. High formation. Give is to Tim Kelly up the middle. Gets across the 40-yard line to about the 44. A nice run by Tim Kelly.
In fact, he picked up a good 9 yards on that, and it'll be 2nd down and just 1 at this point. This is, again, where we talked earlier. They wanted to control the line of scrimmage, and on that particular play, they seem to do that.
Jeremy Renzo goes wide to the right. Brent Parks in the slot. Backs are in the I formation. Smith gives again to Kelly over the right side, and the Warriors give him grudgingly a yard or so, but it's enough for the 1st down.
And number 56 at this point did the tackling for Canton. That's Doug Steiner. As you say, it's a 1st down and approaching midfield here around the 46.
Opening drive of the football game, the 1996 Old Shoe Game. That's Brett Kavanaugh going to the right. Parks is in the slot. Again, Kelly and Colago in the I formation. Now that's Parks in motion. Give a pitch back to Colago, and he is nailed hard for a loss by a host of Canton tacklers.
Well, at least number 10 I can pick up right away, and that was Brendan McClure in there. And another group of Warriors also were in the tackle. Good pursuit to the ball by the Warriors.
They've been waiting for a year or so to tackle him. That's the first time he's had the ball.
2nd and 11.
Renzo again goes to the right. Parks in the slot to the right. Justin Smith, the tight end. The backs are in the I formation. The give again inside to Kelly. Kelly crosses the 45, crosses the 50-yard line into Canton Warrior territory at the 49.
Ryan Huffman making the stop. As you say, over the 50. That was a gain of about 6 yards, so that should have a 3rd and 5 at this point.
Kelly getting the call early and often here in the opening drive.
Well, Canton's linebackers are being tested now. Brendan McClure, Tyler Sechrist, and Doug Steiner.
This time Kavanaugh is split wide to the right. Parks is in the slot. Kyle Smith drops back, going to pass over the middle, intended for Justin Smith. Can't hang on to it. Incomplete.
Well, Smith was covered by Brock Kitchen, number 13, and just a little too far. But he was open enough.
So we'll see Larry Geisler, I'm sure, to punt. With 4th and about 5.
And you'll have back deep number 12, Jared Morris.
And
Kapachuk.
Gets a good snap, gets the kick away. It's a low kick, end over end, taken by Morris on about the 20. He gets up to the 15, rather, gets to the 25, across the 25, where the Warriors will set up 1st and 10.
That was a good kick, a good return for 10 yards.
Got the job done.
Yep. A lot of difference in operating at the 26-yard line than it is at the 15.
Amen, it certainly is. Big 10 yards. Okay, let's see what the Warriors can do. Brock Kitchen brings the Warriors out of the huddle into a wishbone formation. First time we've seen this year, I believe.
Something brand new.
And the give is to, I can't see who that is.
I think that was Jared Morris.
I believe so.
Yes, it was.
Picked up maybe a yard.
Tackled by number 99.
The 2nd and 9.
This will be interesting to watch this afternoon. That's a new formation.
I wonder how fooled the Trojans are.
I don't know. They seem to...
Well, let's set the backfield. We have Kapachuk.
Yep.
We have Kurt Smith and Morris in the backfield. And the give is to Morris, and he goes nowhere.
Jared Morris, the carrier again.
No gain at all. In fact, he lost a little bit. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, at this point in time, it hasn't fooled anybody yet, but it's early in the game. And I'm sure both coaching staffs are checking out and see what the other defenses are reacting when they're on offense.
Interesting, they've run the wishbone up the middle both times, and I believe they have enough speed to get around the outside.
Yes.
Okay, this time Smith is the up back. Jared Morris is set back, and Kapachuk is in motion, and Kitchen didn't like the look of something called timeout.
Well, you know, 2 plays does not make an offense, or 3, but this is a chess match. And many times a play is called to set something else up, or a series of plays to set a 3rd one up.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure the coaching staffs of both teams are just feeling things out right now.
Something I've noticed looking at the game tapes that I saw, that Brock Morris is not afraid to pass.
Brock Kitchen?
Brock Kitchen, I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
Brock Kitchen is not afraid to pass the football. And that kind of surprised me. Miller Moyer's teams have not, throughout the years, been known as really passing teams. It's been 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, you run the wham. Where's the years of Boo Perry?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was Aaron Moyer.
and Sean Tymason.
Yes, Sean too. And back to Riggs all the way.
Yeah.
We can go back. But primarily he likes to get his team on the ground. Okay,
Kitchen's going to pass, and he is not going to pass. He is nailed in the backfield by number 14, and I don't have the slightest idea who that is.
Well, I think it was 44.
Was it 44?
That would be Kelly.
Okay. All right.
With his son, sometimes it does cause a little problem reading numbers, especially in a white jersey.
I wonder, I've often wondered why the Canton bench isn't on the shady side of the field.
We charge extra for the sun, you see.
I see.
That you get your tan.
All right, where are we at? 4th and 1. And Guy Kapachak will go back into deep punt formation. Number 21, that is Brett Kavanaugh, stands on his own 37-yard line. Kick is a high kick that does not break end over end, but until they hit the ground, and then got a nice Canton roll to the 25-yard line where the Trojans will set up shop.
A beautiful spiral that had the tip of the ball 45 degrees forward, and when you saw that thing hit, look out, it's going to roll.
Very nice kick. So here comes Kyle Smith and company.
Well, we had one first down by Troy. Canton was 3 and out. This game, as I said earlier, will be a fairly even game. I think this is going to be one on the line of scrimmage in defense.
Slot is to the right this time, as it has been. Give is to, I believe, Kelly.
I think you're right.
Picked up a couple of yards, maybe 3.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him 3 at this point. 2nd and 7.
To about the 34-yard line. 33-yard line.
You know, statistically throughout the year, Troy has been very stingy on defense. That's been one of their strengths. Canton is about 60 yards more a game they give up.
Okay, wide receivers to the left this time. The give over the right side. I believe that's Calago.
Jeremy Calago on the run.
A couple of yards. Something that I noticed on both these rosters, they're young.
Yes.
Canton loses almost nothing.
We graduate 4 seniors this year. So there'll be a lot of good football to come.
So watch out next year. And the Trojans have a lot of young players. Kyle Smith is young.
3rd down and 4 for the Trojans.
Okay, once again, that's Renzo to the left. He's going to pitch out. He pitches to Calago. Here comes Calago around the near side. Crosses the midfield line. Is at the 40. I think he stepped out of bounds at the 29-yard line, and maybe, yes. They give him the 27-yard line. Nice run by Jeremy Calago. Got outside and turned on the speed.
They set two out wide, and they blocked, and they got the corner.
So the Troy Trojans get the first big yardage break, really, in the football game here with 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first period. Kavanaugh to the right. Parks is going to be in the slot.
First big play of the game. See if Troy capitalizes.
Kyle Smith under center. Keeps the ball, goes around the right side on the option, and he's nailed there by Doug Steiner.
Doug Steiner, the middle linebacker. Nice defensive play, shooting through.
Nice play.
If Canton's going to step up now after they've been burned for a number of yards, that's the type of thing that needs to happen. And the middle linebacker did the job.
We'll give him a yard, 2nd and 9. Trojans knocking on the Warriors' door at the 26-yard line. This time Renzo is to the right with Parks in the slot. Give us to Calago over the left side, picks up 2 or 3 yards.
On 2nd down, Jeremy Calago carries for a short
He was
gain.
in the grips of number 74, Mike Greenberg.
Interesting, the last time I did an old shoe game here, the roles were reversed. Steve Williams, I believe, was up here with me, and you were in the public address booth.
Well, I took some time off after 22 years or so, and Steve does a beautiful job in the PA.
Yes, he does.
Booth.
Did a good job here, too. Okay, that's Kavanaugh to the right, and Kyle Smith was in the slot, and Larry Geisler was the quarterback. And the give was up the middle to Kelly.
And he is about, now they're moving it again. On 4th down, he's about 2 or 3 yards shy. They have one up on the board, but that is a long one.
Yeah, that's
Maybe 2.
That's even long, too.
Well, I think we might see Geisler here. Maybe not.
Well, Geisler's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And
But
Smith is in the slot to the right.
They're going for it.
The give is to Kelly up the middle, and he's got it. He's got his first down and a little bit more as he gets down to about the 15, inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that number 44 is their workhorse, their fullback.
He's 5'9", 190-pound senior for the Troy Trojans.
13-yard line.
So a little bit of substitution trickery here on the part of the Troy Trojans. I don't know if it's trickery or not. Geisler's played quarterback before, but we were expecting to see Smith, and now Smith's in the slot. He's in the slot to the right. The give is to Kelly again. Kelly goes around the right side, picks up a few yards again where he's brought down.
Big hole in the right-hand side, and he rumbled right through it. I think if he would have cut right and actually ran toward the first down marker, which is around the 3, he may have even been in the end zone.
As it was, he ran into Brian Huffman. And
fortunate for the Warriors, Brian was there.
Ball is near the Canton 5-yard line.
Okay, this time Renzo is to the left. Kyle Smith is in the slot. Larry Geisler still at quarterback. And looked like the Warriors jump, but I don't see a flag.
No flag, but a touchdown.
So the Troy Trojans draw first blood here in the 1996 Old Shoe game.
And they did it the way they've done it all year, on the ground, grinding it out. Of course, a big play of 20 or 30 yards there. That chewed up a lot of it, but they basically did the Trojan offensive machine that they have been in, continually running the ball.
Yep, they did their thing. Well, Larry Geisler will attempt the point after. Brett Kavanaugh's the holder. Kick is good.
Up and good.
So with 2:39 remaining in the first period, the Trojans take the lead 7-0. We'll be back after these messages. Well, the Troy Trojans are set to kick off after the touchdown. Any surprises in that drive, Bill Krause?
Not a one. Basically, you're running Kelly, and he's the fullback, and you're also going to be running Calago. And once in a while, Brent Parks is the flanker. He's coming up and maybe decoying. What they did over here, it seems they put 2 out wide to the left.
That's what
and
scored.
Just seal that in.
Yep.
And down the sidelines they went. And
he got some good blocking. And
yep.
once he got outside,
Yep.
nobody could catch him.
And he stepped out of bounds on a 27, and then they grounded in for 27 yards out.
Okay, the kick goes to Jared Morris at the 10-yard line. He's to the 20. And is nailed at the 25 by Justin Smith. Warriors will set up shop there, 1st and 10.
At the 25-yard line of Canton.
About 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
Well, there was only 3 offensive plays by the Warriors the first quarter, and what they need to do now is they've got to establish their offense. They've got to take control of the line of scrimmage and begin a drive to show them that, as it said, as Miller Moyer said, and the coaching staff said, we got to be physical. Now's the time, because Troy basically took it down the field on.
Brock Kitchen brings his team out of the huddle. Wishbone formation. Big surprise. That's Kapachak in motion. The give is to Smith up the middle. That's no surprise. He picks up a couple of yards, gets to the 29-yard line.
That was Smith's first carry. They gave it before to Jared Morris. Looked like maybe a little decoy rather than faking it to Smith in the first series. This one right away, they go back to the bread and butter, and that is Curtis Smith.
Brendan McClure and Tyler Sechrist check in. Once again, the wishbone. The up man is Smith. Jared is the far side. The near halfback is Guy Kapachak. Now that's Jared Morris in motion to the left to give. The pitch is back to Kapachak. Kapachak picks up some nice yardage. Gets to the 35-yard line.
35, just over the 35, about football length or so short of a first down. They may, I don't know, they may measure because it'll be 3rd down. Yep.
So they will measure.
Yep. They're going to bring out the chains. You know, Pete Giannakopoulos used to call them from the other side when I was in the press box, and he'd say, you know, yes or no. And I'll tell you what, he was right more than he wasn't.
just
oh boy,
whiskers short. It looks like. Now maybe not. Let's see what they're trying to make up their mind.
There's
Oh, they gave him the first down. Wow. Not even the nose of the football.
That was close.
So the Warriors operate 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. A minute 42 remaining in the first period. Warriors trailing 7-0. Surprising everyone, maybe with a wishbone offense. Brock Kitchen now sends wide receiver to the right. That's Gordon Wisniewski. Wishbone. Kapachak is in motion. Give us, well, I believe Kitchen held the ball.
Yes, he did. I don't know if he wanted to pitch it at that point or not, but if he did, he wisely just fell on the ball.
Now, see, basically when that runner goes into motion, then you're left with an I backfield.
Right.
That's kind of what it looked like.
I think if he would have pitched it, he would have pitched it into a Trojan.
I think so.
Because they knifed right in, and I don't know, maybe Troy has seen, and I'm not up on this, but maybe Troy has seen some wishbones in this year, or at least some ability to adapt to that.
Tyler Seeker's coming wide to the right. Kapachak's in a slot, and they're in an I formation. Now we have 2 men in motion. That's going to be a flag. Kitchen passes complete to Morris at the about the 44-yard line, but it'll be called back because illegal motion. We had 2 men moving at the same time when the ball was snapped.
Yeah, we had multiple flags. For the Warriors' sake, I hope it isn't multiplied by 3.
Laundry all over the field.
Yep.
And it is against the Warriors, of course. It'll be a 5-yarder.
And I'm sure Troy will take it since they have pass completion. And Denny Thomas has the ball, and he's going to go to that spot and walk off 5, I think. Yes, he has.
So the ball spotted on the 30-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 16. I'd say that's a short 16.
Yeah, it's about 15, but
Gordon Wisniewski comes to the right side.
We don't have decimal points on the yards to go sign.
Kapachak in motion. Kitchen drops back.
Good protection.
Same type play passing to Morris. Morris with a nice reception at the 45-yard line and goes out of bounds on about the 47, where it'll be 1st down for the Canton Warriors.
That was a nicely designed, nicely executed play.
Absolutely. Well planned, actually. You know, you look back on what they did the first few plays, and then that play kind of loosened things up. That was a nice executed play.
Sometimes you pass in order to run. Sometimes you have to run in order to pass. I think at this point, the way Troy's been stacked up, the passing game may open up the running for Canton.
Once again, we're in the wishbone formation. Kapachak in motion. Give is straight up the middle to Smith.
Yep.
Gets cross midfield.
That's the end of 1 quarter of play with the score 2-8.
So we are sitting at this point just over midfield, the first time Canton has been in Troy territory, and it won't take much to switch sides.
It
now.
sure won't. They don't have to go far.
No. A quick turnaround and you're there. Going back to that pass play, nicely thrown. Good reception by Jared Morris, and he just took it in stride and right out of bounds for a 1st down. That might give Canton a little bit of a lift here, and as they go back in here to start the 2nd quarter, because being down 7-0, you certainly don't want to go down 14 or 21 and come back. Now's the time to establish yourself if you're a Canton Warrior football player.
And a successful pass play will open up the defense a little bit for some more running, and of course that's the heart and soul of the Warriors offense is the running game, especially with Kurt Smith in there. But, you know, Jared Morris has been doing a good job, too.
Absolutely. And Troy's line is a little bit bigger than the Canton Warrior line.
Jared Morris is only a sophomore.
Yeah, and they seem to be, initially, early on, seemed to be controlling that in the first series, offensive series against Canton. But now Canton seems to be warming up to the task a little bit here and moving the ball.
Okay, that's Morris in motion. The Trojans running with 5 down linemen. The pitch goes into the ground. Kapachak picks it up. It was a lateral.
Yes, it was. It was a live football. Nice bounce. Kapachak picked it up. Lost 3 yards, but you look at the other side of the coin, you could have lost the ball.
Could have. 3rd and 8. Here early in the second period. It is 1996 Old Shoe game. It's 7-0. The Trojans leading, but the Warriors with the ball.
I may have said lost 3 yards. I think he lost maybe 1 or 2. Didn't lose all 3.
Warriors call timeout.
Well, we have a second timeout here.
Well, the Warriors want to talk things over just a little bit, and that may give us a little bit of time to talk about the Trojan defense. I see they were running 5 down linemen, and we have a bee flying around. Hey, someone call the exterminator.
This is the kind of weather that you're going to get them.
Did you wear aftershave?
Yes,
That's why. That'll do it every time. Actually, the Canton Warriors are looking pretty good this drive, except for the penalty, and that little backward pass which hit the ground, and Kapachak was smart enough to grab the ball and not just let it go as an incomplete pass, because it wasn't a pass. It wasn't a forward pass.
Yeah, it was a pitch out, and it was not to him, and he kept his cool and got it. I don't know what Canton's talking about right now. They're certainly looking at a 3rd and long. They need to keep the drive alive, so I would assume logically that's what they're talking about. But how they're going to go about doing it, and we have a very stiff breeze blowing from west to east, and that's going to affect passing a little bit here. So short passes may be the order.
Okay, that's Kapachak in motion to the right. Now Kitchen's going to pass. Being pursued and brought down at the 35-yard line. A nice play there, I believe, Tim Kelly.
Yes, it was. And Brock had number 10 and number 80. I have to make a quick look on my chart here. He had
McClure.
Tyler Sechrist, and he had Brendan McClure out there, and especially McClure. He was open, just couldn't get it off, so it'll be a punting situation.
Okay, so that's Brett Kavanaugh back in on his 19-yard line, anticipating the punt from Guy Kapachak, who stands on his 36, 37-yard line. Again, a nice spiral kick, and Kavanaugh lets it go out of bounds on about the 22-yard line, where the Trojans will set up play.
1st and 10, Troy, and if you're on the Warrior side of the ball, what you want your defense now is a 3 and out. You can't get them into a long drive to eat up the second quarter to win 7-0 or down 14, let's say. You want to keep this right now 7-0, 3 out, and get your field position back again.
Okay, let's see who's calling the signals now for the Trojans. Larry Geisler is in there. That's Jeremy Renzo to the near side. Brett Parks in the slot. Geisler drops back. He throws the ball over the middle, and it's intercepted right there by number 13, Brian Wilcox. And the Warriors take over, and they did just what you said they need to do.
Well, Brock Kitchen intercepted that pass, but that pass was nothing against Larry Geisler. He was hit by Brendan McClure as he threw the ball. Number 10 broke through there, and it was a good, clean hit, and the ball didn't have the steam on it. And Brock Kitchen was in the right place at the right time, saw that, got the break. Now the Warriors have to capitalize on it.
So some good defense by the Warriors. As they take over 1st and 10, the ball is on the Trojan 35-yard line. That's Kapachak in motion to the right. Here comes Kitchen back to pass. Throws it up, and it's overthrown. He overthrows Gordy Wisniewski. Also, Rob Wright was out in the area.
Well, number 82, Gordy Wisniewski, was on that pattern. It was intended for him, and he got tangled up a little bit with Kavanaugh and delayed his process and run downfield. Good ball, thrown very well. I think that's where he was supposed to be, but Kavanaugh played some defense on it.
Okay, 2nd and 10. 10-14 remaining in the first half. Warriors down 7-0 on the 35-yard line, the Troy 35. after that Brock Kitchen interception. Wishbone offense. Tyler Sechrist wide to the right. Kitchen gives it to Sechrist on the reverse, comes around the near side and picks up about 5 yards, and we have a flag. Some laundry on the field.
Well, what made that play
Yes.
go was good blocking. What made it not go for a touchdown was number 99, Justin Smith. He stayed home.
Penalty is against the Trojans. I anticipate it might be a face mask, but I haven't seen the signal.
Well, to be honest with you, I was watching the blocking and I didn't see the penalty. I just saw the flag go.
It's a biggie. 15 yards tacked on after personal foul, face mask. Yes, tacked on after the play.
Okay.
So that puts the ball on the 15-yard line, just outside the 15 for the Warriors. Big break.
Well, that reverse was well designed, and it was stopped by a defensive play by a Trojan.
Hey, everybody in tight in
Staying
the
home.
wishbone. Give is to Kapachok over the left side, picks up 2 or 3, maybe 4 yards.
Guy Kapachok on a very hard run. Young man drives and drives and drives.
He's a workhorse.
Yes. Along with Curtis Smith, too. Their legs keep going all the time.
Kapachok is 5'10", 165 pounds. He's a junior. Now Troy called the timeout.
Well, that's their first of the first half. First timeout. Canton has used 2 so far.
So the Canton Warriors are threatening here in the middle of the, or early moments actually, of the second period. They're down 7-0. They have a 2nd and 6. And we'll be back right after these messages. That's the 4th one, I think. How many do we have to do? 8. Because of some technical problems with the videotape, the Troy Trojans now have the ball 1st and 10 on the Canton Warriors 45-yard line. It's not 1st and 10. Yes, 1st and 11. And that's Smith, and he passes the ball downfield complete.
Smith pass complete to number 99, Justin Smith.
That's just Justin Smith.
He's the tight end.
Yes.
So I'm not just sure. We don't know exactly what we missed in this game, but we missed a few plays since the last time out.
Okay.
And,
well, let me go through some significant things.
Okay,
then.
let's do that.
The most significant thing, well, first off, I'm not sure either, but we had an interception by Canton, and we had a fumble recovery by Canton. Canton could not score on both of those turnovers. Troy then got the ball back, moved down the field, and a running play by Geisler ended up in his being injured.
Okay.
And a penalty put it back to this point.
So Kyle Smith gives to Colago. Colago over the right side, breaks a tackle, goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Troy. So the Troy Trojans get on the scoreboard again here in the second period, 4:38.
If you're Troy, that's exactly what you wanted to do, was to take it down the field right now and put 14 points up. It's 13 now, but and I'm not sure what they'll do with Geisler injured. If he'll come out, he's number 12 for a viewing audience. If you see him on the field, I do not yet. They may go for 2. But if you're Canton, this is the exact thing you didn't want to happen.
Amen.
You didn't want to be down 14 or 13 or 15-0 going in at halftime. And Canton still has time at 4:38 left before the first half, but,
The Troy Trojans just called timeout. I think they want to decide and discuss what they're going to do here.
I do not see number 12 on the field, and I'm looking for Larry Geisler and his number over on the sidelines. Yes. He is over there. So he's on the sidelines at this point. So they may be going for 2 here. I don't know if anybody else kicks for them for extra points, and of course he kicks off too, and they'll have to decide something else too along the ways here. I hope he is not hurt seriously. Very nice young man.
So the Warriors come back onto the field here with 4:38 remaining in the first half. Down 13-0. Troy Trojans, we'll see what they're going to do to convert. It looks like they're going to go for two. Kyle Smith at quarterback.
And this may be a significant play in this game.
That's Brett Parks at tailback. And he does not get in. So you're right. That point down the road could come back to haunt the Troy Trojans.
Yeah, because Larry Geisler was Mr. Automatic it seemed on extra points. And at 13-0, this puts two scores and you're back in the ball game. If it would have been 15, without a field goal, maybe Joe Sherrill, of course, could have kicked the field goal for Canton. But we've got, for Canton's side, we've got the realm possibility of getting two scores and getting in the lead. Of course, that's assuming you shut out Troy the rest of the way. I wonder who will. We'll find out. Here they come. Who'll kick off?
Okay, we have Smith, Kapachak, and Morris deep for the Canton Warriors to receive the kickoff. Sechrist and Wesneski, the up men. And number 99, Smith, Justin Smith, is going to kick off. And Geisler is standing on the sideline near the 50-yard line.
That's a good sign for him and for Troy.
Kick is a little squib. It's going to be taken by Jared Morris. Picks the ball up. Breaks a tackle or two. Gets across the 35-yard line to about the 37.
Well, I can tell you, at least from this vantage point, number 68 for Troy, Brad Cole, saved at least a lot of yards. That was set up nicely, and Jared Morris was just chugging up that left-hand side, and he had some open room to run.
So Brock Kitchen with 4.5 minutes, 4:33 to go in the first half. Time enough to get on the scoreboard.
And the Canton fans are right. I heard a lady yell down here, "Oh, come on, guys, you've got time." And they do.
That's Kapachak in motion to the right to give up the middle to Smith. Smith gets to the 40, across the 40 to about the 41-yard line.
That's only his maybe third, fourth, fifth carry, I think. I'm not keeping a stats situation here, but memory.
I tell you what, if I got Kurt Smith in my backfield, I want him to run for me.
Well, he's run a ton for the Warriors this year, and I remember 2 years ago right here, as a sophomore, he ran wild.
Yes, he did. Okay, it's Smith, Kapachak, and Morris in the backfield. Kitchen gives the ball to Morris. Morris picks up 2 or 3 yards.
Second down and 6. Jared Morris carries for the Warriors.
Gets to the 44, almost to the 45-yard line. It'll be third and 3.
Yep, that's a good 3. And if you're Canton, you're a Canton fan. This is where you need a crucial third down conversion.
This is where you need a cloud of dust and Kurt Smith.
And 3 yards and a half.
Yeah,
at least
3 yards and a half.
Although the Warriors would like to see it go all the way, I'm sure they'd settle for 3.5 yards.
Wesneski comes to the near side. Morris is in the slot. Kapachak in motion to pass to the tight end, Wright. And Wright picks up a first down out to the Trojan 46-yard line. Nice play.
Well, that young man knew he was going to get hit, and he still looked that ball all the way into his hands and his body to make sure. And when he stood up, he knew it. He got hit, but he raised that hand in the air. Yes.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors now with 2:53 remaining in the first half. They're down 13-0. Okay, we have Tyler Sechrist wide to the right. Kapachak is in the slot. Morris in motion, pass again over the middle, over to the left side. That's Brennan McClure. Grabbed it and fell.
Nice dive for that ball.
He had to reach 4 miles for that. Great that he could come up with it. Picked up 3 or 4 yards. It'll be second and about, 6?
Yes, with about 2:20 left in the half. Canton's on the move.
At the Troy 41
I don't see a prevent defense yet for Troy. They have not gone into that nickel package that the pros sometimes use, but they're still right up on the line. They have...
That's Tyler Sechrist wide to the right. Morris in motion. The pitch is to Kapachak on the near side. And he may have lost a yard.
And he did not get out of bounds.
Clock running with 1:53.
Ball carrier at about the line of scrimmage. Bringing up a third down and about 7 to go.
Sechrist and McClure check in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the fans are employing them to, I think, to put it up and to get going because they've got 1:30 left in the half. If they're going to go from this point, they've got to get on the move.
That's Morris in motion. Kitchen back to pass. Has time. Passes to McClure. McClure at the 30-yard line, and he can't get out of bounds either. About the 28-yard line, I believe the Warriors are out of timeouts. However, the clock does stop to move the chains.
That's a new rule this year.
So the Warriors need to get out there and get going and not take a lot of time with 1:18. And now the clock has been started. 1:18. First and 10, the ball on about the 27 or 28-yard line.
Nice pass by Kitchen. That was right on the money, and a nice catch by McClure.
Wisniewski to the right. Kapachak in the slot. Morris in motion. Kitchen's going to pass again. Now he's being pursued and nailed by 3 Troy defenders.
Tackled in the backfield by number 99, Justin Smith.
Well, you had, I think, Smith
And Kelly.
right in the backfield.
Yep. Okay, hurry up offense now. That's Wisniewski out to the right. McClure is the tight end. Wishbone offense. He spikes the ball to the ground, stops the clock with 39 seconds.
Yeah, this is now, of course, 4 down, so he used that second down at that particular time to just stop the clock since they're out of timeouts. And they'll have 2 shots at least if they go into the end zone, or they may try to pick up the first, which stops the clock briefly. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
3rd and about 16. Okay, they come out of the huddle. That's Kitchen sending Sechrist to the right. Kapachak is in the slot to the right. And Morris is in motion. Same formation, same play. Kitchen's going to pass. He's being pursued, and he's nailed again. Again by Smith.
Just could not get the pass off, had to roll to his right a little bit. And, of course, that disrupts your vision downfield to see the pattern. And he just couldn't get that pass off.
So that'll likely be the last play of the half. It's 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and they shouldn't punt the ball.
No, I don't think they will. They'll let it run down maybe to the last few seconds and get a playoff, and maybe we'll have a Hail Mary full of grace. Hope the ball lands in the right place. You know, one of those.
Yeah, they're gonna just. Well, he's going to pass the ball. He passes to Morris. Runs the clock out. So that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Troy Trojans 13, Canton Warriors nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 1996-97 Troy Trojan Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Lee Foster and under the field direction of Senior Drum Major Dennis Palmer and Sophomore Drum Major Michael Randall. This year, the band will be saluting our country with the theme Salute to Freedom. The band opens with Shine Down to Senior Matt Powers. Sophomore Daniel Swain is our trombone soloist, along with senior mellophone soloist Lucas Passmore and Eric White. The majorettes are then featured in gospel chants. The band then closes with the Salute to Freedom, a collection of patriotic themes. We hope you enjoy enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trojan Marching Band.
behind you. Please take an eye, leave the concession stand.
Well, the Warriors take the field as we're about set to start the second half of the 1996 Old Shoe game. The Warriors down by a score of 13-0. Bill Krause, you have some halftime statistics for us.
Well, I do, and I think they tell a little bit of the story. For Troy, first downs in the first half, 7. Canton had 4. Rushing yardage, 18 carries for Troy for 162 yards. Canton had 17 carries for 7 yards.
Ouch.
Right there, ouch. Passing, Troy had 21 yards actual through the air. Canton had 50, and that came from Troy, 2 out of 4 with 1 interception. Canton was 5 out of 10 with 1 interception. Total 183 yards for Troy, 57 total for Canton. Those types of statistics tell a story, but I think an unspoken one was just as the Warriors came out. Curtis Smith led them out. If I'm on Canton's sideline, I'm saying, Curtis Smith, you've got to lead them second half. Certainly Brock Kitchen has a good arm. He needs some time back there. He's 5 for 10. He's only had 1 interception, had some good success through the air. But he needs to lead on the ground now with Curtis Smith running. Right now we have a 1-minute pause for a moment of silence, and I'll explain that in just a moment. Canton High School lost a friend, an educator, just an all-around good fellow, Mr. Spirit, everything you could think of in a teacher, and that was in Mr. Joseph Green's passing this past week. His funeral was this morning at 9:30. We certainly do extend to his family our sympathies, and of course to Canton High School for the loss of a very fine gentleman. We're all going to miss him. And as a sideline, he'd be here today, and he'd be leading the cheers too, I'll tell you. So, Joe, if you're listening,
he's watching.
Yep, he's with us.
Okay,
but back to those statistics, Stu, just a second. That tells it. So I think Curtis Smith, you'll see, if just as a guess, I think you'll see Curtis probably carrying the ball a bit more the second half. You'll see short passing to keep them honest, and Canton can get right back in this thing. They're already down 13-0, and we'll have to just wait and see what happens. So,
Stu, if you can bring that camera around here for a moment, I'd like to ask Bill to tell us just where it was that he got those statistics from.
Well, it wasn't from my hand. I got them from Steve Williams.
We got them from the trash can,
and he put them back in the trash can, and I was taking them down, and I thought, why mess things up? I'll go right in the trash can and get them. I did it for a number of years. I know where they put them.
He used to be the thrower, now he's the throwee.
I am the retrievee.
Oh, my. Well, the captains are about set to take the middle of the field here to start things off in the second half of the 1996 Old Shoe game. And I guess maybe we should talk about them. That's Doug Steiner for the Canton Warriors, and Brian Huffman and Curtis Smith.
And they're out there right now, and you even see the difference in the size. They've got 2 of their linemen out there, the Smith boy and the Gorman boy for Troy, and they're pretty good-sized fellas.
Yeah, that's number 72. That's Matt Gorman. As you said, he's the big guy. Who are the others?
Well, you have Smith, 99.
Justin Smith.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure of the other fellow.
And Calago.
Oh, Calago, 22. Just saw his number. But as they also say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in a dog.
Okay, well, we're going to have a dog fight maybe here in the second half. Troy leading by 13-0. The Warriors down. But Miller Moyer's teams have always shown a lot of character in the second half. I've always envisioned him as being a good second half coach. He goes into the locker room at halftime and seems to be able to make the adjustments to get the job done.
I'm sure there was a stirring speech. He's done it for 45 years.
Amazing. The contribution that man has made to the youth of Canton. Retired and came back and still doing it.
Still going.
So we have Morris, Smith, and Kapachok back in on the 15-yard line for the Canton Warriors. And Justin Smith has the ball teed up. He'll kick off, gets the boot into it. Ball is going to be taken by Kapachok. Drops it, picks it up, and brings it out to about the 30-yard line. We'll call it the 29, where the Warriors will set up 1st and 10.
It'll be interesting, too, since Smith kicked off, that it was not Larry Geisler.
Yep.
I assume that injury, which was near the end of the first half, may be bothering. He walked off the field. I don't know how serious it is, but he certainly didn't kick off, and we'll take a look when he gets on offense whether he's playing quarterback again or not.
Okay,
in
Brock.
In fact, the Troy defense at this point in time has Geisler at the cornerback, and I don't see him out there.
No, he's not out there. He's standing on the sideline. That's Morris
Oh, yes.
in motion to the right. Kitchen's going to keep the ball. Picks up a couple of 3 yards. Had the option to pitch. Tucked it away and picked up about 3.
Real good decision.
Tackled by number 75, Chris Reese.
Actually, the Trojans are defending this wishbone pretty well.
They seem to. As I said, I'm not sure, but maybe they have seen the wishbone earlier this year.
Second down and 6 yards to go with the ball.
Give him 4 yards.
33 yards on.
Again in the wishbone offense, that's Kapachok, Smith, and Morris from left to right. That's Morris in motion to the right. Kitchen pitches to Kapachok. Kapachok has no place to go as he is brought down there by Parks.
He's tackled by number 30, Brent Parks.
And he is getting up a little slowly right now. He's wiggling that left ankle, but he's standing up and now jogging back to the huddle. That must be a bad part of the field down
Must
there.
be, yeah. Go there, you get hurt there.
Yeah.
3rd and 7. Opening moments of the second half. That's Wesnaski wide to the left. Kapachok in motion. Kitchen drops straight back, looks to pass. Now he has to tuck it under and run, and he's going to pick up some nice yardage as he crosses the 45-yard line to about the 46 maybe?
That looks about right. In fact, he raised that arm to cock it to throw and brought it right back down, and the Troy defense jumped up, and he just took off.
1st and 10 for the Canton Warriors, trying to come back here early in the second half, down 13 points. Again, we're in the wishbone offense. 2 tight ends. Give us to Smith over the right side for a couple.
Curtis Smith went airborne on that one. On that first down play, picked up a couple yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 8.
Down at about 9 to go.
Or 9.
Well, they're saying 9. It looks more like 8.5.
We'll compromise.
When we put that decimal point up there, we'll really have a...
We'll have a scoreboard then, won't we? That's Morris in motion. Kitchen wants to pass again, being chased and nailed by Tim Kelly way back on the 32, 33-yard line. Big loss for the Warriors.
Yes, Kelly and Smith for Troy are right back there again. And I say again, the first half, that was a consistent theme you could see on some passing down, some obvious passing downs. They were making some penetration and disrupting the timing of the play.
If the Warriors are going to pass it all, they've got to stop those guys from getting in the backfield.
That brings up a big 3rd down. Woo.
Scoreboard says 22. I won't argue with that. It's a long 22. Okay, that's Morris in motion. Kitchen's going to pass again. Again, he's being pursued by Kelly. Passes downfield, almost intercepted there by Justin Smith. Pass is incomplete.
Also tipped by number 89, Jack Shumway. It was intended, I think, for Jared Morris, number 12.
So it's fourth in the whole football field.
And we'll probably be seeing Kapachak here. And this wind is fairly
brisk.
Fairly brisk coming out of the west.
But an absolutely perfect day for a football game. Just beautiful. Brent Kavanaugh is standing on his own 36-yard line. Here's Kapachak's kick. Nice high spiral backs Kavanaugh way back to the 20. It lands on the 20. It bounces to about the 16, 17-yard line, where it's down there by Gordy Wisniewski, and the Trojans will set up 1st and 10.
Well, I got to tell you, Kapachak put his foot into that one, and it was a beauty, and on the Warriors side, it couldn't come at a better time.
Beautiful kick. So now the Warriors need to tighten up their defense, as Kyle Smith will set up shop on his own 17-yard line, we'll call it. 8:33 remaining in the third period. Kavanaugh comes to the right. Brent Parks in the slot to the right. Kelly and Colago are the backs. Smith gives to Kelly. Kelly, nowhere to go, picks up a yard or two. Stop there.
Well, I think Brian Huffman got his nose in there first, and then his buddies came up to help him.
Now we'll bring up
2nd and about 8.
and 8 yards to go.
Jeremy Renzo checks in, and he goes wide to the left. And Parks once again in the slot. Justin Smith is the tight end. Give is to Colago over the right side. Again, he is tackled there by Steiner and Huffman and Brendan McClure and a bunch of other guys.
Good defense, gang tackling, pursuits of the ball. Defense looks like they've got renewed energy here. They're really flowing.
And those were probably where the adjustments were made at halftime. This time Kavanaugh goes to the left.
Again, Troy does not throw very much, but
they can.
They certainly can.
Smith pitch to Colago. Colago nailed in the backfield. Almost got away from
Mike Greenberg.
Mike Greenberg.
Yeah. Nice defensive play by Mike Greenberg.
He's a big lad.
Yes.
5'11", 180, and he's only a 10th grader.
He'll be with us for 2 more years. Loss of about 3 on that play. And Larry Geisler is back in the game here, and he will be punting.
No, that's Kyle Smith, isn't it?
No, I think it's number 12. Yeah, number 12 is Geisler.
Yeah, that's right. That's Geisler.
Punting to his counterpart, Morse.
Morse gets back to about the 48-yard line. So the Warriors will have another opportunity to move the ball. Yes, good to see Geisler back in the football game. He's walking kind of slow off the field, though.
And he's been taking the snaps under the ball, so, he may have a slight sprain or something, but it's nice to see him back, as you said.
Hope he's okay.
And Canton, by the way, has improved its field position from where they punted before, and primarily due to Kapachak's punt and then the 3 and out, and Morris running it back a few yards, and Canton is in Troy territory.
Gordy Wisniewski comes to the left side. Backfield in the wishbone. Kapachak in motion. Kitchen wants to pass, being pursued by, oh my goodness.
I went, not so much because of who tackled or who was tackled. It was just because of the face mask.
And that was, I believe, number 89, Jack Shumway. Is that the number on the...
89 is Jack Shumway.
I think that's who made the tackle. Face mask, that's going to cost some yards.
I just focused in on Brock, who's just a simply wonderful young man. You know, what you can say about good young men, you can say about Brock Kitchen. He's a super kid. When something like that, it's inadvertent, but you're glad nobody's hurt.
5-yard penalty. Looks like a 4-yard penalty to me.
Peggy Miller, if you are here,
Well, it was from this
concession stand by the home bleachers.
spot of
The
the
spot of the
foul.
infraction, yep. So it'll be 1st and 6.
Mhm.
So it was a 4-yard penalty. Give us to Smith. Smith picks up a couple of yards.
Curtis Smith on the carry. He's tackled by number 34, Tim Kelly.
He is a powerful back,
He is.
200-pounder.
Yep. Ball spotted just across the 45, the 46-yard line. He's 2nd and 5. Funny yardage for as many plays as they've run here.
Yes. Yeah. And as we said, you know, at halftime with the statistics, we forgot one. Canton had 2 opportunities in the Troy area, the red zone, to score and didn't. This is another opportunity as they're moving down the field to get back in the game.
Kitchen keeps the ball in the option, crosses the 35-yard line, down at the 35-yard line, and that's good for a 1st down. Nice play by Brock Kitchen.
Yes, he's a gamer. There's no quit in him.
Amen. So the ball spotted right on the 35-yard, the Troy 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Warriors trailing 13-0 here in the 3rd period. Now that's Tyler Sechrist going wide to the right. Again, the wishbone offense. Brendan McClure is the tight end on the near side. Kitchen gives the ball to Smith. Smith picks up about 4 yards over left tackle.
A little juggle there on the handoff, but he grabbed it right back, gained control, and it didn't look like he got 4, but he got 4. That's just the power of Curtis Smith.
Yep, deceiving. He's deceptively fast because he's big.
I remember 2 years ago he ran wild here as a sophomore.
I saw that game. Tyler Sechrist wide to the right. Kepachok's in the slot. And now that's Morris in motion. Kitchen back to pass. Throws it downfield, and oh my goodness, intercepted on about the 4 or 5 yard line by Brent Parks. The pass was intended for, I believe, Morris, and he was well covered. So the Trojans stop another Canton drive.
Well, it was intended for Morris, double covered. And I'm trying to see who intercepted that because I was looking at the
I think it was
down.
Brent Parks.
Brent
30,
Parks?
I think so.
All right, and also covering was Kyle Smith, so they had him well covered.
So the Trojans set up. There's a flag on the field.
Blocking below the waist is going to be the call against Troy.
So that'll move it back. Ball right now, it's spotted on about the 17. No, the 11.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's a silver cloud in this, you've got Troy backed up. Now, if that's on your Canton side of the ball. If you're on Troy's side of the ball, you're saying great interception. We'll take it wherever we can get it.
So the ball is on just outside the 5 yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. A lovely, lovely autumn afternoon in Canton, Pennsylvania. And that's Kavanaugh wide to the right with Parks. Smith gives the ball up the middle to Tim Kelly. Picks up a couple.
And there's a good sign of sportsmanship. Kelly being helped up by one of the Warriors. I can't see who it was. Oh, it's Curtis Smith.
And Kelly looks like he might have been shaken up on that play.
Looking at his hand.
Yeah, maybe a dislocated finger or something. Time is called.
Gain of about 4 on 1st down.
Officials want to have somebody look at that. They don't want him playing with that.
Number 7's coming in right now.
That's Mike Mudra, if I pronounced that correctly. He is a sophomore for Troy. 5'4", 145-pounder.
Well, that's a big part of their, Calago's an important part of their offense too, but for a big guy Kelly to be out and that number 7's in, so.
Now Parks is in at fullback and
Yes.
Mudra is at the wingback, or the slot back, and the give is to Parks up the middle.
Brent Parks carries on the play. Tackled by number 31, Kurt Smith.
Well, they're looking at Kelly's hand over there.
So what do we have? 3rd and 1 Ball on the 17, 18-yard line, inside the 20.
Well,
And now again we have an official calling time.
when we actually do get this play off, they're holding Troy up from coming up to the ball. When we finally do get this play off, and it's only, about a half a yard, a foot?
Yeah, it's real short.
Let's talk about defining moments. There were a number in the first half, I think, for Canton. This is, I think, a defining moment here. If they could, keep Troy from gaining the first down and getting the ball back, I think they get it in fairly good field position.
Well, they're going to measure is what they're going to do.
Well, that might not be a defining moment. Then.
No, they're going to measure to see if Troy has a first down, and boy,
I think we're talking close.
Again, they get the whisker out.
This reminds me of a horseshoe match or a quake match.
Yeah. No signal from the referee, so it will be third down and a whisker.
Well, what do you say? Let's call this one. You think we're going to have a quarterback sneak?
No.
Okay.
I think you'll see Kelly.
And he's back in.
Kyle Smith at quarterback, and he keeps it.
Oh.
And boy, I don't know.
Second effort.
I don't know. I guess he got it. Yeah. If they spot it. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, they're waving the chains.
Yeah, he was stopped short, I think, and then just spun and went backwards and got that first down on pure second effort only.
So an opportunity slips away from the Warriors here in the third period. We have 2:38 remaining. This third period just kind of slipping by.
Yeah.
We've had no scoring.
Well, Canton played that tough, but good effort on the part of Troy.
Okay, this is Renzo and Parks to the right. Give up the middle to Kelly. Told you.
You're right eventually, right?
I knew sooner or later.
He gained about a yard.
Yeah, a long yard maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not a long. Anyway, it's going to be 2nd and 9. Warriors really stack their defense tight.
Daring him to pass.
But if you get through there, there's nobody back to stop him. Okay, that's Kavanaugh coming to the right. Kelly and Colago in the backfield. You know, we haven't called Colago's number much. Not really.
Not as much as I thought.
No. Now, oh my goodness. Smith wanted to pitch to Colago, couldn't, kept the ball and was nailed back there by number 56. That's Doug Steiner.
Well, Geisler is just being helped up by one of the Warriors. I think it might be 56, Doug Steiner. Yes.
Yeah, Geisler. I've been saying Smith.
Yeah, it's Geisler. And I just noticed too that he was very ginger with that right leg. So I don't think he could move as well. But good defensive play. Well, for the Warriors, it was the time to do it. It's 3rd and 13.
That's Renzo again to the right. Geisler at the quarterback.
The ball at the 14-yard line.
Geisler drops back, wants to pass over the middle, down the right side rather, and that was intended for Parks. He had Renzo over the middle open.
Well, Parks was 30, and there was also 80. Renzo, and it was split the difference. I'm not sure what he was aiming for. But for the Warriors, that brings up 4th down.
Yep, 4th and long, so it will be punt time as Jared Morris drops back deep, standing near midfield on his own 48-yard line.
Now, does the coaching staff for Canton send them?
Geisler will punt.
Geisler back to punt.
Are they going after him?
There they come. There
They're
they come.
after him.
Oh, they got him, and there's a flag.
flag.
Ball taken by Morris, but it doesn't matter. He gets to the 41-yard line. Trojans going to have first down on a personal foul.
We have a penalty flag down the play, roughing the kicker.
We got the kicker roughing penalty, yes. Well, you want to talk about Canton boys and Troy boys talking it over. That was cute. Now, there's a human interest thing. I'd love to know what they were talking about, but it was friendly. Jared Morris is kneeling at the 40, and Kelly's kneeling at the 40, and Troy's Kelly's kneeling at 40, and they're talking. Their heads are bobbing up and down. Yes,
No, these kids all know each other anyway.
Yeah, sure. And that's one of the nice things that's happened over the years, the good sportsmanship between this rivalry.
Yeah, it's never been nasty that I can remember.
It's been good.
Yeah. So that'll be first down now for the Trojans at their own 24-yard line. No, their 29-yard line. Ball just shy of the 30. So a break for the Trojans. leading 13-0 here in the third period. Waning moments of the third period. 37 seconds left.
Canton playing them tough.
Geisler gives to Colago over the right side, picks up a couple of yards. Crosses the 30.
Well, once again, number 51 shows up in there. Brian Huffman, he's been playing a whale of a game. So's Doug Steiner. On defense, they've had their nose right in there, and they're dirty to prove it.
Yep, you can tell by looking at them where they've been. They've been on the ground, both ways.
Also, Travis Pepper.
So that's the end of the third period with the score: Troy 13, Canton nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
Our winner today is Mrs. Carol Strong from Canton.
For the fourth period here at the 1996 Old Shoe game between the Troy Trojans and the Canton Warriors. The Warriors down by 13. Trojans have the ball. They're on their own about 32-yard line. They'll have it 2nd and 8. Larry Geisler been in and out of the game with an injury.
Well, I saw John Kurkowski come on that timeout come across the field, and I'm sure he was over there looking both at Kelly as well as at Geisler, Larry Geisler.
Geisler is in there, and Renzo goes wide to the right. Parks in the slot as usual. Backs are in the I formation. Geisler's going to pass. He's got Renzo open, but it's knocked away by Jared Morris. Nice defensive play there by Morris on the far sideline.
Well timed. Well timed. He waited for it to come down, made contact just at the time the ball arrived. Good play.
Because he was the only thing between Renzo and the end zone. 3rd down and 8.
That's what the 6-3 is. It tells you pass on me if you can.
Yep, and they didn't. They did, but they couldn't. Okay, that's Kavanaugh coming to the left side.
Really, sometime looking at this 6-3, it's almost like a 9-2.
Yeah, it is. Yep. The linebackers play real close.
Uh-oh.
Now we have some motion. I think probably one of the interior linemen, on the Trojans may have moved. We'll see in a moment. Check the guy with the white hat, see what he says.
And?
Procedure against Troy.
Very, very good.
So that'll cost them 5.
You watch the guy in the white hat.
Yep, that's the guy you got to watch. Because he knows what's going on down here. Hey, we don't. Maybe you do.
No. We're supposed to know a little bit.
Well, that's true.
But that's the thing. We know a little bit.
A little bit of knowledge is sometimes dangerous.
That's right.
Kavanaugh comes to the left. Geisler's still in at quarterback. Give is to Colago, and he's nailed in the backfield by most of the defense. I see Huffman and McClure and Wisniewski.
They were there.
Probably Steiner was there.
The cavalry came to the rescue.
Yeah, they did.
Well, so, one of the keys, Stu, was stop Colago, and I think they have done that.
Colago has not done much except for that one play.
Yep.
So it's 4th down. Geisler will kick. Jared Morris standing on his own 40-yard line.
Canton should get it in good field position again.
Gets a short kickoff. The ball's going to bounce on the 50, bounces back where it's taken on the 46 by one of the Troy players. So that's where the Warriors will get the ball, and boy, is that good field position.
A 5-yard bounce back.
Yeah. What, a 10-yard punt?
Well, yeah, it's a little more than that, but not much. It seemed to get caught in the wind a little bit, and then when it hit and it bounced back.
So the change ends, and the Warriors take over. The ball is just outside the Trojan 45-yard line.
Canton has had good field position. They have not had their backs up against the wall.
Stepachuk is wide to the right, and the give is to Smith over the right side, and he picks up 2 or 3 tough yards.
So with 11 minutes left, they basically need to take this ball on a drive and go down and get a score and then worry about coming back and winning the game. But now's the time.
Yep, very important drive for the Warriors here. Very important drive.
Fan support's been here. Their people been yelling. They're behind them. And over there on the Troy side, you can hear him once in a while when we've had our headsets off yelling too. So,
yep,
both sides of the sport.
Jared Morris to the right, McClure in the backfield. Pitches to Smith, goes down the right side, picks up a first down or awfully close to it.
Brock Kitchen waited until the absolute last second, and I got to tell you, he paid the price.
He got nailed really good.
Yes.
That is a first down. The ball is spotted about the 31 or 32-yard line. So the Warriors on the march.
I think he sold everybody, including the referees, that it was going to be a quarterback keep. And it wasn't. He pitched it out.
Excellent job by Brock Kitchen.
See Travis Pepper hobbling a little bit here on the sidelines.
Smith and McClure in the backfield in an I formation. And the give is to Smith. Smith over the right side for 3 or 4 or 5 yards. And that was Brian Roberts in there. Number 20 was in motion. I don't know if we've seen him before today.
Now this looks the beginning of a patented Canton drive.
Yep. Yep, this is how you do it, so watch.
And if they do score, and whether it's 6, 7, or 8, and sets this thing up, it's another typical backyard.
Yep. Brendan McClure in the backfield with Smith. That's Kapachok in motion. Kitchen gives to Smith. Smith breaks one way, cuts another, and gets across to about the 22, 23-yard line.
Yeah. Well, maybe know about the difficult to see. I'd say more like a 26.
Now, yes, I guess you're right. Now Troy calls a timeout. Yes, it is the 26-yard line. Troy calls a timeout with 9 minutes and 1 second remaining in the football game. They're leading 13-0. Warriors have a 3rd and 5.
A big 3rd and 5. I'm sure it's 4-down territory, but they want to get it on this 3rd down. Question will be, what will Canton do? Will they the short pass or the long pass? The long passes have been intercepted, been well covered by Troy today. In fact, either single coverage tight or really good double coverage on this last interception. Would they go short for the first down? We'll have to wait and see. But Miller Moyer and his staff have talked it over, and they're coming back out.
Going right to the line without a huddle. And that's number 10, Brendan McClure, 31, Kurt Smith in the backfield. Jared Morris on a wingback position to the right. Now he's in motion to the left side. Kitchen drops back, stumbles, stays on his feet, drives forward, and he's going to be a little bit short. He's going to be a yard short, maybe, of a first down, 1.5 yards.
That wasn't a pass. That was a run all the way. And Brock Kitchen getting up very slowly. He's been hammered. He's taken some good hard tackles, especially on this drive.
So we're at 4th down and 1 yard to go. Now that's Brian Roberts, wingback to the left. McClure and Smith are the running backs. That's Roberts in motion. Give is to Smith. Why not? Yes, sirree. Gets his first down and a little bit more.
I think, I don't know how many people are here today, but we've got a wonderful crowd. Figured Smith was going to get that.
I figured he might.
And
why not?
We talked about defining moments before. That 4th down to keep this drive alive. Big one for the Canton Warriors.
So once again, the Warriors knocking on the door.
What, 16-17?
8:03 left. That's what it looks like. Now they're inside the, inside the 20. There's Smith over the left side, still on his feet, driving hard. He's down inside the 5, inside the 10, near the 5.
Vintage Curtis Smith. Get hit, drive, get hit again, shake a tackle, do a little spin, do a little juke, hit again. That's vintage Curtis Smith.
Where has he been for the first 3 periods? So it's 1st and goal for the Warriors. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. McClure and Smith That's Morris in motion. The give is to Smith over the right side. Touchdown, Warriors.
Curtis Smith.
Yes, sirree.
Last 2 carries, it looked like the old Curtis Smith.
Yes, sirree. So the Warriors on the scoreboard with 7:28 remaining here in the football game.
And I'll paraphrase that lady. In fact, I'll quote her right in front of me. There's plenty of time left.
Plenty of time. This fat lady hasn't sung yet.
You looked at me when you said that. Oh.
Well, there's a timeout down there. I'm not sure who called it, but Warriors want to, I think, probably just talk over what they're going to do here, whether they're going for 1 or 2.
I think I got it in good authority that Canton called this.
Canton called it? Okay. Yeah. That's a shock to look around and see that big eye looking at you. That big eye right there.
Oh, there.
Oh, my goodness. You know, I just looked over to see if we could see Ed Larkham.
You know, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. We need to talk about it. Yep. He's bound and determined he's going to ruin his camera by putting me on it, but if we can find Ed Larkham, we need to get a shot of him if he's still here. I heard a siren a while ago, maybe he left. But.
Well, way back in the initial old shoe game, Ed played for Troy in that first one.
What was that, 1904?
Well, the next time you get a ticket, you can tell him that.
Okay, we're all set now. The Canton Warriors ready to attempt the conversion of the extra point. What are we going to do, Bill?
Well, it looks like we're going for 2.
Looks like
but
we're going to go for 2.
This will be interesting.
That's Morris to the left, and that's Smith in motion. We have not seen that. And Kitchen is nailed.
That ball can be picked up, I think.
I haven't heard a whistle yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, well, we got to be a whistle now. The referee picked it up. The ball's dead.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So
I'm going to ask somebody here after we go for a break and find out if we could or couldn't.
Ask him on camera.
Oh, okay. Well.
No. So the conversion attempt fails. The Troy Trojans are leading 13-6. And Brock Kitchen is being helped off the field. He got his bell rung real good, and that's not the first time today that it's been bonged.
The answer is not necessarily definitive, but there was a good answer given.
Okay.
And that is, he could have been down, and therefore the play would have been over.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Talking about Kitchen being down before the fumble.
Something back in my memory banks, I think you can return, and then that might not be in the high school ranks. I'll want to check that out.
Okay. Who is Brock Kitchen's backup?
Well, we're going to take a quick look here. And it could be Rob Wright, or it could be Pat McCarty, but I would think Rob Wright, the senior, might come in.
He is being attended to right here on the bench in front of us by Dr. Kurkowski. Yeah. He's all right. He just got his bell rung, but he may not. Doctor may not want him to play for a little while.
Well, he had on that one pitch play going down a tough tackle when he pitched it to Curtis, and then he also had another option where he had a tough tackle.
Sherrill kicks off, and there was a whistle before the guy even caught the ball. It was a line drive kick taken by one of the up men, and there's a flag down. What in the world could that be for?
Well,
maybe offside.
As a famous announcer once said to me, we got to look at the guy in the white hat.
Infamous announcer. Well, we'll see what the guy in the white hat. I didn't see him say anything.
Well, he hasn't said anything.
No, and the ball's still spotted on the 35. Maybe it wasn't marked for play yet.
That could be. Maybe we weren't ready. Yeah. But we're going to do it over again.
Now there's a whistle. It's marked for play. Sherrill gets a good kickoff this time, much better than the last one.
Very nice kick by Joe.
Kavanaugh gets behind his wedge, now he breaks to the left, now to the right, still on his feet. My goodness, nice run there by Kavanaugh. Gets near the 40-yard line to about, the 38, where the Trojans will set up with 7:20 remaining in the football game.
That's probably the best field position Troy's had this half, or close to it anyway. Again, Canton has to do one thing. With that time left, they need to stop them, get the ball back, and put a drive together. And it could be one of those finishes that this particular rivalry is famous for.
Yep, it very well could be. Geisler's still in there. Receivers to the wide, to the right. Give up the middle to Calago.
I remember a number of whip dinger finishes that they've had. Last year was a good one.
Last year was one, yep.
But that one where Steve Riggs threw the pass to Jenkins, Aaron Jenkins in the end zone with almost no time left in the clock.
I remember that.
That was a
barn burner.
Oh, that was something.
Second down at 9 at the ball at their own 40-yard line.
Well, Jeremy Renzo goes to the right for the Trojans. The ball is spotted on the 40. It's second down and about 8. Marks in the slot to the right. Backs are in the eye. The give is to the front man, Kelly, and he is nailed immediately. Immediately. It looked like maybe Doug Steiner. Yes. No. No, that's number 6.
That could be. Is that Travis Pepper?
Maybe.
Well, they were milling around. It was hard to tell, but 67.
I don't see him on my roster.
That would be Travis Pepper. I think that would be Travis Pepper. Yep. It was like, here's the ball. Boom, here I am, too.
Here's Travis Pepper. Beat Travis Pepper. Okay, so it's third down and, third and 10. Receivers wide to the right. Geisler throws one out on the flat to Kavanaugh, and Kavanaugh is nailed there by Huffman. Gets nothing.
Huffman along with Pepper again. Boy, Travis is fired up right now.
Yeah, lost a yard. Great defensive play here by the Warriors. 5:58. They're trailing by 7 points, and it's fourth down. We get the ball back as the clouds are rolling in.
I'm wondering if we don't have one of these fantastic finishes coming up.
Another old shoe barn burner.
Let's write this ahead of time. Suppose Canton scores. They have to go for 2, and that would be 14-13. Remember way back when we talked about that injury and the not kicking and the missed point and all that? This
Geisler's kick goes out of bounds on the 33-yard line where the Warriors will set up shop. Yeah, go ahead.
This is going to be this can be written that way. It's one more fantastic game in this old rivalry. Canton has pretty good field position here. They've had better, but I mean, 33, 34-yard line isn't bad.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Ball's marked in play. Morris in the slot to the left. Wisniewski wide left. Backs are in the I formation. The give is to Smith. Smith bursts through the line, picks up about 3 or 4 yards. Nice play by Kurt Smith.
There was a fumble. And Curtis Smith reached out and pulled that back.
Because he got up with it. He got up with it.
Yep, ball went on the ground. But
his parents are sitting right in front of us down here.
Yes, they are.
Okay, that's number 20, Brian Roberts checking in. And he'll go wide into the slot to the left. Tyler Sechrist wide to the left. Backs are in the eye. They've abandoned the wishbone. That's McClure and Smith. Smith gets the ball over the left side. Runs over one guy. Finally is brought down on about the 41-yard line.
Yes, he ran into Rob Smith and just got another yard after he ran over him.
Third and about 4.
I think the crowd's beginning to warm to the task.
Well, it doesn't hurt.
They're beginning to really get into this. They sense it. But it's 59 yards away.
The old Warrior spirit is back.
3 yards in the cloud of dust won't do it.
This is Rob Wright, split to the right. Kapachok in motion. Give is to Smith. Smith around the right side. Got some running room. Gets a first down. Nice run. Cross to the, about the 46-yard line. Maybe inside the 45. I can't tell.
Well, he's at the 50. He's right on the 50, I think.
That's where he is.
In Troy territory. But important now is clock stops.
With 3:55 remaining. Oh, we got a barn burner going. We got the makings of a good one, Hoss. Whoa.
Okay, little Joe.
That's the nicest thing I've been called in years. Little. Anything little. And it looks like we have a timeout on the field. Whoa, 13-6, the Trojans leading the Warriors in a real good football game. We'll be back after this. My goodness, 3:55 to go in the 1996 Old Shoe Fracas here at the Miller Memorial Field in Canton, Pennsylvania. Stu Wilson with Bill Krause, and we got a good one.
Ball just inside Troy territory, and Canton has moved it for about 1 first down and a little more.
Brock Kitchen, that quarterback, that's Kapachuk in motion. Give is to Smith. He's been a workhorse here in the second half. Fights for yardage, gets 2 or 3.
I think that's what you're going to see. Smith and Kapachuk carrying the ball right now. But as I said earlier, 3 yards each carry isn't going to do it with the time. They're going to have to break a couple.
Well, Smith can do that, that's for certain. And you know something, so can Kitchen.
Yes. If he gets a quarterback option, of course, we're not in the wishbone anymore. You're back in the I formation. Power football, ground chuck.
This is Miller Moyer football. Wesneski to the left with Brian Roberts. Smith in motion. Kitchen's gonna pass, falls down. Slips on the turf and falls down.
That puts the ball back inside Canton territory at about the 47-yard line, and that's a significant one because it's a significant loss because we're now at 3rd down and 13.
Third and long.
Those handoffs to Curtis aren't the ticket on 3rd and 13.
That field must be soft right there. I've seen a couple of guys fall down right there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Brock planted at that right foot and it just slid out from under it.
Yep. Okay, Morris comes wide to the right. Everybody else is in. Backs are in the I formation. Kitchen again, drops back to pass. Down the right side, overthrows his receiver. The ball almost picked off.
Well,
that was Tyler Sechrist that he overthrew, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I've got to quickly check my numbers here, and I may have this backwards, but 18 for Troy. Kyle Smith was either in position to intercept, and 21 Kavanaugh came in front of him and knocked it away. For the Trojans, that was a tipped ball, but it could have easily been intercepted.
So now we have another timeout. We're down to 2:16 in the ball game here. 13-6, the Troy Trojans trying to hang on to the Old Shoe. They won it last year by a score of 7-6 in an equally exciting football game. I'm so thankful that they didn't play this game last weekend.
I think if you read the papers, they had it took the league 6 days to play football.
Pete Hardenstein said, it took them a week to play the schedule.
Starting with the Wyalusing Freedom Village game on a Wednesday, the Cantons on Monday.
Yep.
At North Bend. Well, this is it. 2:16, barring something spectacular happening. Canton has to keep this drive alive right now, and it's 4th down.
Yep, this could be the game right here. What are we going to do? We have a wingback, Kapachuk in motion. Morris was in the backfield in the tailback. Smith was in the fullback. Kitchen's going to throws it downfield complete.
I don't think it's far enough.
But it's short of the 1st down.
Yes.
And that was Morris make the catch, but he caught it 5 yards short of the 1st down. So well, now wait a minute. Look how close he is. He caught it a yard short of the 1st down. Oh, my goodness.
We're close.
That's even worse.
Jared Morris did the absolute right thing here. He came back to his quarterback. And when he came back to his quarterback, obviously, that may have taken him out of 1st down position.
So the Trojans take over on downs with 2:07 remaining in the football game, leading 13-6.
Yes, as Brock Kitchen was rolling out, Jared recognized it, came back around to help him out on this side of the field. And that's what a receiver is supposed to do. And then he struggled like heck for the first down, but came up about a yard short or less.
All right, so Geisler brings his team to the line. He's got receivers wide to the right. He gives the ball to Kelly, who was nailed immediately by Brendan McClure.
Well, it's fair to say that Canton is on the second half right now. They have really, really worked hard, offensively and defensively.
Call a timeout to stop the clock. 2:02. That only took 4 seconds. That was an excellent defensive play by Brendan McClure. He was right there, just right there, and that saved 6 or 8, 10, 12 seconds. Time is the thing of the importance now.
Well, Canton called a timeout, and I think that's their second.
Second or third. They've had at least one before this.
And they may be able to stop it one more time.
Well, the troops go back onto the field. Kitchen is not in there.
No. They've replaced him with number 80, Tyler Sechrist, in the backfield, the defensive back.
Okay, this is Kavanaugh to the right. Parks in the slot. Backs are in the I formation. 2nd and 11. Geisler wants to pass. Rolls to his right. Throws one downfield. I believe it's caught. Yes, it is caught by Brent Parks, and that's good for a first down. That's bad news for the Warriors.
We haven't guessed. We have gotten the indication. They're moving the chains. And if Canton has one more timeout, they'll stop the clock that way.
1:53 remaining. 1:50 and counting. 13-6. The Warriors are down. Trojans with the football on their own 46-yard line.
Larry Geisler's ankle looked pretty good there because he sprinted out real well and to the right side and found his receiver.
Yep, he's all right. Renzo and Parks come to the left. Give us to Kelly.
And just can't call a timeout.
They may not have another one.
They may not. We may have not been diligent in our counting there.
1:10 and counting. An exciting football game. Too bad somebody has to lose.
That's true. Like last year, wonderful football game. 7-6, 13-6 this year so far.
Under a minute.
Probably the way it will stand with 50 seconds left.
Give us to Calago over the right side. Picks up 4 or 5 yards.
Well, as I said before, Troy has the shoe. Looks like they'll keep it. Canton came out and played a whale of a second half.
Yes, they did. Yep. Well, Canton had it for 6 years in a row. Troy's going to have it for a couple of years. It's down to next year. And, most of these kids will be back here doing it again next year. That's the great thing. These are young guys playing this game on both sides of the ball.
We have... I look at Tyler Sechrist out there, and I see his dad down to my left. I can remember when he played linebacker, I think it was. Boy, could he hit people. He would stick people. What a competitor. Son's the same way.
Yep.
Flag on the play. I think it's probably going to be
probably delay.
Delay.
Watch the guy in the white hat. Yep. Delay a game. 7 seconds. All over but the handshake. Anybody? Where's the fat lady? We get her to sing.
Well, our hats off to Troy. They certainly did earn the victory, 13-6, and the shoe will remain over there for one more year. And Canton, of course, like everything else, will try hard to get it back next year.
Yep, they will. Some of these guys, will play in 3 or 4. There's some freshmen, they'll play in 3 or 4 old shoe games.
Absolutely, and that's the end of the game.
That's what builds memories. Yeah, that's the end of the game with the score. Final score is Troy 13, Canton 6. We'll be back with the wrap-up right after this. Well, we're back here at Miller Moyer Field in Canton, Pennsylvania. Stu Wilson with Bill Krause. We just saw a good football game.
Excellent. In fact, I might say that we felt this type of score, this type of game was in the offing, and that's exactly what happened. Not that we're great prognosticators, but you take a look at the stats. Troy was a little bit better on defense than Canton, statistically that is. Canton came in here a little bit better on offense. Well, we said at the top of the show, we think defense will win the game. Well, there was some magnificent defensive plays, interceptions, fumble recoveries, and also some good sticks, some nice play defensively, which I think actually wound up turning the game in Troy's favor.
Yeah, if you look at those season statistics and match Canton's offense to Troy's defense, and Troy's offense to Canton defense, you had the makings of a good football game.
Sure did.
And that's exactly what these boys gave us today, the makings of a good football game. Now look what the boys are doing on the field.
Yep. They've shaken their hands. They've met each other again. Now they're all going to sit down and talk to their respective coaches and listen to what they have to say. Both sides of the ball have quality young men on. And regardless of whether you talk football or basketball, track, whatever, sport has its place in the development of young men and young women. And this particular game will hold a lot of memories for them in their development. Now's the time. Not whether you win and lose, whether you're going to be a winner or loser in life. It's, like they all say, how you play the game and how you carry yourself. Quality young men. They play their hearts out today. I can take my hats off to them, both sides of the ball.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is from a quality high school administrator.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill Krause, for helping us in this broadcast. We've enjoyed working with you, and it's been a pleasure as always. Years and years ago, we did some sports. We did some girls volleyball and some basketball back in old KAD days.
Yeah, WKAD, that's right.
Yep, we worked over the hardware store, and this guy behind the camera here was our newsman, and those were some good old days.
Quite a few years ago.
Yeah, well, some of us have gotten light hair since then, and some of us have gotten no hair since then. And but life goes on, and you just have a lot of memories. And these kids have created some good memories here today in this football game.
Sure
the unheralded men in this game are the linemen, and the Doug Steiners and the Brian Huffmans and the others, and they don't get enough credit. And these guys, as I watch them leave the field, they just work very, very hard all day long. And it's not been all day long. It's been since August that they worked. You got another game left. I don't know if Troy does or not.
I think they have one more league game left.
But I guess the old shoe is probably the highlight now of the season for them. And I like you. I take my hat off to the students and to the coaching staff here at both these schools.
Well, when you say the coaching staff, I'm going to put a plug in for them. They started middle of August, and I know Miller is working year-round. But, I mean, together they start in the middle of August, and they go through the end of October, the beginning of November, and these kids stay with them, and it's a long season. And it's a tough season. But with that said, there's a lot of dedication on the part of both staffs, both schools in their football program as well as other programs that they have.
Good thing we don't pay them by the hour.
That's true.
We couldn't afford them.
Couldn't do it. No, couldn't do it. You got to love it. You got to love it to do it.
Well, that just about puts a wrap on it here from Miller Moyer Field in Canton, Pennsylvania. Tonight's cablecast of the Old Shoe Classic has been presented to you through the cooperation of these fine Canton and Troy sponsors: by Landon Tire, Hercules tires for all vehicles, Pennsylvania inspection and repairs; by the Canton Pharmacy, complete prescription service, cough and cold remedies; by Crisis Tire and Auto Center, your complete car care center, great deals; by Stull's Flowers, 2 stores, Canton and Troy, say it with flowers; by Landon Cedar Ledge, open when you need it, apples, cold cider, hunting supplies; by the Canton Body Shop, let Jim Brenchley knock it back in shape; by Ace Distributing, great deals on soda and all popular beverages; by Moore's Automotive, Jesse and Darren will get the family car running again; by Cook's Pharmacy, don't let the flu season get you down, prescriptions and more; by Ted Bound Fundraisers, for schools, sports, churches, the professional touch; by Schoonover Plumbing and Heating, Lennox Heating Systems, emergency service; by Nationwide Insurance, life, health, home or farm, Nationwide is on your side. By Citizens and Northern Bank, still strong, still local, a full-service bank. By McClure Motors, see the Ford boys for the best deals. Be sure, buy McClure. By Canton Building Supply, lumber, paint, roofing, wallpaper, and free estimates. By Slocum's Meats and Deli, fresh cuts, salads, lunches, the newest and best in town. By Pepper Funeral Home, locally owned and Canton proud. By Morrison Seeger Furnishings, sofas, love seats, recliners, store-wide clearance. By Core States Bank, everything we do it for you, downtown Troy. By Baldwin Hardware, your Service Star dealer, fully stocked, friendly people. By Canton Independent Sentinel, your hometown newspaper, all the local news. By Troy Dry Cleaner, free home pickup and delivery, cleaning of all fabrics. By Chrissy's Food and Friends, pizza, burgers, shakes, the best fast food. By Miller's Chevy Jeep Eagle, transportation with the plus, service after the sale. By the First National Bank of Canton, you're always first at FNB. Please remember to patronize our fine sponsors and tell them you saw their ad here on TV 10. Once again, the final score, Troy 13, Canton 6. For Bill Krause, Stu Wilson, good night.